I have sort of what people might refer to as a love-hate relationship with gimbals. I love the footage I can get with them, but I usually hate using them. I own several smartphone gimbals, and honestly, most of them end up sitting on the shelf back here more than they get used. Not because they don't work, they do, they all do, and I'm always so impressed with the features they offer and the creative shots I can get when I use them. But it's because every time I want to shoot something, I have to stop, set it up, balance everything, and basically change my entire workflow just to get started. So, for a lot of creators like myself, when you're trying to create content and move through a shoot fast, you can become more than a little resistant to anything that's going to change your workflow or slow you down. So when Hohem sent me the iSteady M7, I wasn't really looking for another gimbal, but I've never turned down a free one either because they are cool. And I did want to know if this would actually be different enough that I would finally use it on a regular basis. So if you're looking for one of those videos that shows you all the cinematic footage that you can actually achieve with one of these, I have to apologize, that's not going to be this video. My goal with this video is to give you the honest perspective of somebody that does this for a living so that you can have enough information to decide if you actually will use one of these things or not. And of course, along the way, if you do decide that you want to check pricing or that it is for you, there'll be a link in the description as well as tagged in the video. If you use those, it helps us out at no extra cost to you. So for me, it's always been about the workflow. It's not about the stabilization, it's about everything before that. Balancing the phone, dealing with all the accessories like a mic receiver if you happen to be using one, adjusting things every time you swap phones or cases. It all kind of adds to the monotony of using one of these things. And when it comes to doing a product review, I don't want another step that slows me down. Most of the time I just grab my phone and shoot. Modern phones already do a decent job with stabilization anyway, especially for talking heads or simple walking shots. The first thing I noticed about this one was how much easier it was to get balanced. Even with my mic receiver on here, I was able to do it without much hassle, and it's not on here now because I'm recording this with another phone. Obviously, I'm using this one for a demonstration. The point is, that's usually where I lose patience with gimbals, because the setup usually starts feeling like a small production before I even start filming. This one isn't too much of a hassle to get balanced, and once it is set up, it doesn't feel like I'm constantly fighting it. Another thing that stood out was this detachable touchscreen remote. That changes how you can frame shots when you're working alone. Instead of guessing, I can actually see what the camera sees while I'm away from it. The AI tracking is useful depending on the shot you're trying to get, but in the past I've found myself avoiding those shots or improvising my creative ideas just to avoid the gimbal setup. I can see myself incorporating more of these type shots now because of the easier setup. I don't know that I'll use them all the time, but I can see myself actually doing this once in a while. I like that the extension is built in, that's nice. I won't personally use it a lot, but it's one less piece to attach when I do want to use it. It certainly came in handy for an older guy like me shooting this shot, which is a perspective that's close to the ground, keeping it stable, but not necessarily wanting to ninja walk all crouched over. I don't think that every creator needs a gimbal, and that's really my honest opinion. If you're mainly filming talking head videos, tripod shots, or quick product videos, this may not change much for you. Your phone already handles that kind of stuff fine. But there are situations where this becomes a lot more useful. If you're doing solo filming where you need movement in the shot, it starts to make a lot more sense. Travel content, real estate walkthrough, sports, really anything where the camera needs to follow the action without an assistant. Trying to film that kind of stuff handheld usually ends up a little shaky, even with the best stabilization built into your camera. The real question with any tool like this isn't whether it works. Like I said in the beginning, most of them work. The question is whether you actually reach for it when you're in a real situation. Because tools like this and all this other stuff behind me only matter if they become part of your actual workflow. After spending some time with iSteady M7, I can say that it actually feels closer to something that I'd use on a regular basis, instead of something that I'd only bring out for planned cinematic shots. For the most part, I'm probably still going to use this or a tripod to do most of my shooting. But for movement shots, tracking, and situations where I need smoother motion and I don't have another person to put behind the camera, this one makes a strong case for itself. Like any other tool, the more you use it, the more comfortable you become using it, and the more likely you are to use it. If you found this video helpful, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing to the channel. It really helps us out and it doesn't cost you a thing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.